In an unprecedented turn of events, the political landscape of the United States has been rocked to its core. The once unbreakable alliance between Donald Trump and Mike Pence has shattered, revealing a bitter feud that has erupted into the public eye with explosive intensity. The betrayal is palpable, a venomous rift that has left the nation in shock and disbelief. The tension had been simmering beneath the surface for months, but no one could have predicted the dramatic confrontation that unfolded. In a moment that will be etched in political history, Trump, known for his fiery temperament, unleashed a torrent of accusations against Pence, his former right-hand man. The air was thick with hostility as Trump, eyes blazing with fury, accused Pence of the ultimate betrayal. The words, "You betrayed me," echoed through the corridors of power, leaving no doubt that this was a point of no return. Pence, not one to back down, retaliated with equal fervor. His response was sharp and cutting, accusing Trump of being consumed by an insatiable hunger for power. The exchange was brutal, a no-holds-barred showdown that laid bare the deep-seated animosity between the two. The political partnership that once seemed unshakable had crumbled, leaving behind a trail of chaos and uncertainty. As the dust settled, the nation was left grappling with the implications of this public fallout. The betrayal had not only fractured a political alliance, but it also sent shockwaves through the Republican Party. Allies were forced to choose sides, and the once unified front was now a battlefield of conflicting loyalties and ambitions. Behind closed doors, the machinations that led to this explosive fallout were slowly coming to light. Whispers of secret meetings and covered conversations painted a picture of a sinister plot that had been brewing for some time. The betrayal was not a sudden act but the culmination of a series of calculated moves that had driven a wedge between Trump and Pence. The public, meanwhile, watched in a mix of outrage and fascination as the drama unfolded. The media frenzy was relentless, with every new revelation adding fuel to the fire. The nation was divided, with supporters and detractors of both men voicing their opinions in a cacophony of outrage and support. As the story continues to unfold, one thing is clear: the betrayal has left an indelible mark on the political landscape. The question now is whether Trump and Pence can ever reconcile, or if this is the ultimate political breakup that will redefine the future of the GOP. The nation waits with bated breath, knowing that the repercussions of this feud will be felt for years to come. After the initial outbreak of the betrayal between Trump and Pence, the tension only intensified. Behind the closed doors of the White House, a sinister plot was brewing that promised to change the course of American politics. The secret meetings, the whispers in the hallways, and the furtive glances between the closest collaborators of both leaders were just the tip of the iceberg of a plot that was simmering. At the heart of this conspiracy was a web of divided loyalties and personal ambitions. Rumors of disloyalty began to leak out, and what was once a solid alliance was rapidly crumbling. Inside sources revealed that discussions about the country's future had become a battlefield where every word was a sharp dagger, ready to be thrown at the slightest carelessness. The atmosphere was tense, charged with an electricity that threatened to unleash a political storm of epic proportions. Accusations flew back and forth, and allies on both sides were forced to choose between loyalty to a leader or political survival. In the midst of this chaos, a plan was brewing that promised to be the final blow to shatter any chance of reconciliation. The clandestine meetings multiplied, each meeting more explosive than the last. Secret documents circulated among the closest collaborators contained information that, if made public, could destroy careers and reputations. The tension was palpable, and the clock was ticking inexorably toward an outcome that promised to be as devastating as it was inevitable. In this scenario of intrigue and betrayal, the question on everyone's mind was, who would be the first to strike the final blow? The answer, still uncertain, kept the nation in suspense, as the political drama unfolded with an intensity that few could have anticipated. The story of betrayal between Trump and Pence was not just a personal confrontation. It was a reflection of the deep divisions that threatened to tear at the very fabric of American politics. In an unprecedented eruption of fury, Donald Trump, the former president of the United States, confronted his once loyal vice president, Mike Pence, in a confrontation that could only be described as volcanic. The air was thick with tension as Trump, eyes blazing with indignation, hurled the accusation that would reverberate through the corridors of power. "You betrayed me." The words sliced through the room, leaving a palpable silence in their wake, a silence that was quickly shattered by the ensuing chaos. This was no ordinary political disagreement. It was a full-blown showdown, a clash of titans that had been simmering beneath the surface, now exploding into the public eye with a force that demanded attention. Trump, known for his unyielding demeanor, was unrestrained, his voice echoing with the weight of betrayal and anger. The confrontation was raw, unfiltered, and brutally honest, a spectacle that left those present in a state of shock. The accusations were not mere whispers of dissent. They were explosive charges that threatened to unravel the very fabric of their political alliance. Trump, feeling cornered and deceived, unleashed a torrent of grievances, each one more damning than the last. His words were a barrage, a relentless assault that painted Pence as the architect of his own downfall, a Judas in the midst of the political arena. As the confrontation unfolded, it became clear that this was not just a personal vendetta but a battle for the soul of their shared political legacy. The stakes were high, and the fallout was inevitable. The room cracked with the energy of 1,000 unspoken words, each one a testament to the deep-seated animosity that had been festering for far too long. In this moment of high drama, the world watched, transfixed by the spectacle of two former allies turned adversaries. The confrontation was a stark reminder of the volatile nature of political alliances, a cautionary tale of how quickly loyalty can turn to betrayal. As the dust settled, one thing was certain. The explosive accusations had set the stage for a political saga that would captivate the nation and leave an indelible mark on the annals of history. And an unexpected and electrifying turn, Mike Pence, the hitherto loyal vice president, has launched a devastating accusation against Donald Trump, calling him obsessed with power. This confrontation, which seemed inevitable, has reached a boiling point that no one could have foreseen. Pence, known for his composure and discretion, has decided to break his silence and attack with a forcefulness that has left everyone speechless. In an exchange that has shaken the foundations of the Republican Party, Pence has not held anything back, pointing out that Trump's unbridled ambition has been the real driving force behind his most controversial decisions. This frontal attack by Pence is not only a response to previous accusations of treason by Trump, but a declaration of political independence that marks a turning point in their relationship. The tension, which had been brewing in the shadows, has exploded in a public spectacle that has captured the attention of the entire country. Pence, in a defiant tone, has made it clear that he is not willing to continue being a puppet in Trump's power game. Pence's accusation resonates strongly, especially at a time when the country is divided and political loyalties are being tested. This confrontation not only exposes the cracks in the relationship between Trump and Pence, but also raises serious questions about the future of Republican leadership. Can the party survive this internal storm, or are we witnessing the beginning of an irreparable fracture? Meanwhile, the public watches in awe and anticipation, aware that this conflict could have profound and lasting repercussions on the American political landscape. The battle between Trump and Pence is not just a clash of personalities, but a reflection of the broader tensions that are redefining the course of politics in the United States. In this drama-laden and confrontational setting, the outcome remains uncertain, but one thing is certain: the impact of these accusations will resonate far beyond today's headlines. In the dark fabric of American politics, a series of secret meetings became the epicenter of a conflict that no one saw coming. In an environment charged with tension and mistrust, Donald Trump and Mike Pence, once inseparable allies, began to chart divergent paths. The clandestine conversations, kept away from the spotlight and from prying ears, became the fuel that fanned the flames of a dispute that threatened to crumble the foundations of power. At these meetings, plans were hatched and words were exchanged that should never have come to light. Whispers in the corridors of power turned to cries of betrayal and unbridled ambition. Trump, known for his combative style and aversion to disloyalty, could not believe that his vice president, the man who had stood by his side at the most critical moments, was involved in such intrigues. Pence, for his part, felt trapped in a power game that forced him to make difficult decisions that alienated him further and further from his former ally. The secret meetings became a battlefield where wars of words were fought and strategies were drawn up that would change the course of the country's political history. The participants, aware of the risks they were taking, moved cautiously, knowing that any misstep could be the end of their careers. However, the thirst for power and the need to protect their own interests pushed them to press on, regardless of the consequences. In this scenario of betrayals and broken alliances, tension reached its peak when leaks began to come to light. Compromising documents and recordings of private conversations became lethal weapons in the hands of those seeking to destroy their opponents. Trust, once solid, crumbled like a house of cards, revealing each party's true intentions. The impact of these revelations was devastating. Public opinion, stunned by the spectacle of betrayals and cross-accusations, was divided into irreconcilable camps. Trump supporters, furious at what they considered an unforgivable betrayal, demanded answers and strong actions. Pence's supporters, on the other hand, saw in him a leader who had the courage to stand up to unmeasured power. Amidst this whirlwind of emotions and scandals, The question on everyone's mind was whether there would ever be a chance for reconciliation between Trump and Pence, or whether this was the final end of an alliance that once seemed unbreakable. The answer, still uncertain, kept the nation in suspense, as the political drama continued to unfold before the eyes of the world. The relationship between Donald Trump and Mike Pence, once solid and seemingly unbreakable, has undergone a shocking metamorphosis that has left everyone speechless. What began as a strategic political alliance has become a battlefield filled with resentment and hostility. In an unexpected twist, these former allies have transformed into bitter enemies, and the world watches in amazement as their bond crumbles. The shift was as drastic as it was unexpected. Trump, known for his abrasive style and unrelenting approach, could not contain his fury when he felt Pence had betrayed him. The tension, which had been bubbling beneath the surface, finally erupted in a public confrontation that left everyone stunned. Accusations flew like daggers, each word sharper than the last, as the relationship disintegrated before the eyes of the world. Pence, for his part, did not stay silent. In a bold move, he responded with an accusation that resonated loudly. "You are obsessed with power." This exchange of words not only marked the end of their collaboration, but also sealed their fate as rivals. The transformation of their relationship was so swift and devastating that it left their supporters and detractors reeling. Allies on both sides, who once worked together in harmony, now find themselves at a crossroads, forced to choose sides in this bitter dispute. The metamorphosis of their relationship has been a spectacle worthy of global attention, a reminder that in politics, loyalties can change in the blink of an eye. The question that remains in the air is whether they will ever be able to reconcile or if this is the final chapter of a once powerful alliance. In an unexpected twist that has left the nation agape, leaked documents have come to light, revealing the raw truth behind the rift between Donald Trump and Mike Pence. These documents, which both sides desperately tried to keep hidden, expose a series of communications and strategies that paint a devastating picture of betrayal and mistrust. The evidence is clear and compelling. What began as a solid political alliance has crumbled into a battlefield filled with accusations and resentments. The documents, obtained from anonymous sources, detail private conversations and secret plans that show how tensions between Trump and Pence escalated to a point of no return. They show how loyalties crumbled and personal ambitions began to take over, exposing a ruthless power play that few could have imagined. The content of these documents is explosive. They reveal that behind closed doors, a plot was brewing that not only sought to undermine mutual trust, but also to manipulate the political scene in favor of personal interests. The words exchanged in these texts are harsh and uncensored, displaying a level of animosity that has left political analysts stunned. The leak of these documents has sparked an unprecedented media storm. Supporters on both sides are up in arms, while the public watches in amazement as this political drama unfolds. The revelations have shaken the foundations of the Republican Party, sparking fierce debate about the future of its leaders and the direction the party will take amid this crisis. Amidst this chaos, the question on everyone's mind is, what else is lurking in the shadows? What other truths will come to light as the layers of this political intrigue are peeled back? The nation waits with bated breath, knowing that what is at stake is far more than just a dispute between two political figures. It is a reflection of the internal struggles that could redefine the American political landscape forever. Chaos broke out in Trump's inner circle following explosive accusations that flew like poisoned daggers between him and Pence. The atmosphere in the White House became stifling, with advisors running back and forth, trying to contain the political fire that threatened to consume everything. The betrayal had been exposed, and the consequences were devastating. Screams echoed through the halls as Trump loyalists desperately tried to calm the president, who couldn't believe his right-hand man had stabbed him like that. Trump's fury was palpable, and his inner circle was in a state of absolute panic, fearing for their own jobs and the future of the administration. Meanwhile, some of the more astute advisors saw opportunity amid the chaos. With the relationship between Trump and Pence in tatters, a power vacuum had opened that many were eager to fill. Palace intrigue intensified, with each faction seeking to consolidate its influence in an increasingly volatile environment. Loyalty became a bargaining chip, and those who had once been inseparable allies now regarded each other with suspicion. Secret meetings multiplied, and leaks to the press became a tool to gain the upper hand in this internal war. The White House, once a bastion of power, now teetered on the edge of the abyss, its occupants locked in a ruthless struggle for political survival. The impact of this rupture was not limited to the walls of the White House. Across the country, Trump and Pence supporters were locked in a battle of loyalties, each defending their leader with a ferocity that reflected the intensity of the conflict at the heart of power. The nation was divided, and the future of the Republican Party hung in the balance, as echoes of this betrayal reverberated across every corner of the political spectrum. The question on everyone's mind was clear. Could the party survive this implosion, or was it doomed to fragment under the weight of its own divisions? The answer, still uncertain, kept everyone on edge, as the political drama continued to unfold before the eyes of a stunned world. Amid a political maelstrom that has shaken the foundations of power in the United States, a secret that has remained hidden for far too long is being revealed. Mike Pence, the man who was once Donald Trump's loyal shadow, has been operating in the shadows with an agenda of his own, one that challenges everything we thought we knew about his relationship with the former president. This discovery has not only stunned political analysts, but has set off a series of events that could change the course of the country's political history. Pence, known for his composure and unwavering loyalty, has been weaving a web of hidden ambitions that have finally come to light. For months, as the world watched the apparent unity between Trump and Pence, the former vice president was calculating every move, every word, with a clear purpose: to challenge Trump and claim his own space on the political stage. This is not the Pence the public thought they knew. This is a man with a plan, a man who has decided that he will no longer remain in anyone's shadow. The revelations are shocking. Leaked documents and testimony from sources close to Pence have painted a picture of a politician who has been playing the long game, waiting for the perfect moment to make his move. His defiance of Trump was not an impulsive act, but the result of a carefully orchestrated strategy. Pence has been gathering allies, consolidating power, and laying the groundwork for a showdown that promises to be as explosive as it is unpredictable. The question now echoing through the halls of power is, what drives Pence? Is it simply a matter of personal ambition, or is there something deeper at play? Some suggest that Pence sees in this moment an opportunity to redefine the future of the Republican Party, moving it away from Trump's shadow and toward a new era of leadership. Others speculate that his challenge is a matter of principle, an attempt to restore what he perceives as a lost sense of integrity and honor in American politics. What is clear is that Pence is no longer the man we once knew. His secret agenda has changed the game, and the repercussions of his actions will be felt in every corner of the political spectrum. As the world watches in amazement, one thing is certain: the Trump-Pence showdown is just the beginning of a battle that promises to be fierce, relentless, and full of surprises. History is being written before our eyes, and no one can predict how this explosive chapter in American politics will end. The scandal that shook the entire world, the Trump-Pence dispute, became the epicenter of an unprecedented media frenzy. News of their confrontation spread like wildfire, capturing the attention of every corner of the planet. The headlines gave no respite, and images of their heated arguments flooded television screens and newspaper front pages. The scale of the conflict was such that there was no room for indifference. The media, hungry for every detail, rushed to cover every angle of the story. News networks interrupted their regular programming to offer live coverage, while political analysts heatedly debated the implications of this rift. Social media erupted in a whirlwind of opinions, memes, and conspiracy theories, further fueling the fire of controversy. At the epicenter of this media storm, journalists were racing to obtain exclusive statements, while political communications experts analyzed every gesture, every word, looking for clues about the future of both leaders. The pressure on Trump and Pence was immense, and each public appearance became a spectacle worthy of close observation. The impact of this dispute was not limited to American borders. On the international stage, world leaders watched with awe and concern, aware that the repercussions of this conflict could alter the global political balance. Embassies issued statements, and international analysts speculated on how this fracture could influence U.S. diplomatic relations and foreign policy. The intensity of the media frenzy was relentless, and each new development was met with a mix of shock and anticipation. The audience, caught up in this maelstrom of information, found itself torn between amazement and outrage, as the entire world anxiously awaited the outcome of this political saga that had captured everyone's attention. The Trump-Pence showdown has left the Republican Party teetering on the edge of a political abyss. The feud, which began as a whisper in the halls of power, has erupted into a scandal that threatens to tear at the very fabric of the GOP. The political consequences of this feud are profound and potentially devastating. With loyalties divided, Republican leaders find themselves at a crossroads, forced to choose between two figures who were once pillars of the party. The infighting has exposed fissures that could redefine the party's future. Trump supporters, fervent and numerous, demand unwavering loyalty to their leader, while Pence's supporters see him as a figure of integrity and principle who could lead the party in a new direction. This split not only threatens to fragment the party's base, but could also have repercussions in the next election, weakening the GOP's position against its adversaries. The impact of this dispute extends beyond party lines. Donors, crucial to any political campaign, are reconsidering their alliances, worried about the chaos that could be unleashed. Electoral strategies are up in the air, and Republican candidates face the difficult task of navigating a political minefield, where any misstep could be fatal. Meanwhile, Democrats are watching with interest, aware that this internal war could offer them an unexpected advantage. Uncertainty reigns, and the future of the Republican Party hangs in the balance. The question on everyone's mind is, can the GOP survive this storm, or is it doomed to an irreparable fracture? The answer, still uncertain, could change the American political landscape forever. The nation is on fire, divided by a dispute that has shaken the foundations of American politics. The betrayal between Donald Trump and Mike Pence has unleashed a firestorm of reactions across the country. In every corner of America, people are in a state of shock and fury, as loyalties are tested and opinions become alarmingly polarized. On the streets, in homes, and on social media, the public has become a battleground for conflicting opinions. Some see Trump as the betrayed leader, a man who trusted his vice president only to be stabbed in the back. Others, however, applaud Pence for having the courage to challenge a president they see as obsessed with power. Arguments escalate, friendships are broken, and families are torn apart, all while the country watches with a mix of horror and fascination. Polls show a country split in two, with almost equal support for both sides of this bitter dispute. The media does nothing to calm the waters. On the contrary, it fuels the fire with sensational headlines and heated debates that only serve to fan the flames of discord. News shows become gladiatorial arenas, where commentators hurl accusations and conspiracy theories at each other, each more outrageous than the last. Amid this chaos, the voices of ordinary citizens resonate loudly. Some are organizing rallies in support of Trump, waving flags and chanting slogans of loyalty. Others are rallying behind Pence, seeing him as a symbol of integrity and resilience. Social media is abuzz with hashtags and memes, each more incendiary than the last, as Americans try to process the shock of this unprecedented political rupture. The divide is palpable, and the future seems uncertain. Can the country overcome this fracture, or is it doomed to an era of endless conflict? The answer remains a mystery, but one thing is certain: the betrayal between Trump and Pence has left an indelible mark on the nation's psyche, a wound that will take a long time to heal. The political landscape has been rocked to its core as the once unbreakable alliance between Donald Trump and Mike Pence crumbles in a spectacular display of animosity and betrayal. The nation watched in disbelief as the tension that had been simmering behind closed doors erupted into a public spectacle, leaving no room for doubt about the depth of their rift. The air was thick with accusations and counter-accusations, each more damning than the last, as the former president and vice president faced off in a confrontation that seemed to signal the end of their political partnership. As the dust settled from their explosive showdown, the question on everyone's mind was whether there was any path to reconciliation or if this was indeed the final chapter in their tumultuous relationship. The stakes couldn't be higher, with the future of the Republican Party hanging in the balance. Would Trump and Pence find a way to bridge the chasm that had opened between them, or was this the ultimate political breakup that would redefine the GOP for years to come? The world watched with bated breath, eager for any sign of resolution or further escalation. The final showdown loomed large, a moment of truth that would determine not only the fate of two political titans but also the direction of a nation deeply divided by their feud.